Education Today. I'm Kennedy Labengood of Washmokan High School in the Armstrong School District. It is a holiday that is recognized every year in our society. Each November, our country takes a day to remember and commemorate the men and women who put their lives out on the line to help someone ensure their freedom that we all enjoy today. It is very important to remember the sacrifice that so many made and continue to educate our youth about these important historical events. Each year, schools have various ways that they commemorate Veterans Day, and this year we are going to take a look at West Hills Intermediate School to show you a little bit of what they do.
Lexington, Concord, Gettysburg, Omaha Beach, Midway, Da Nang, Quezon, Baghdad, to name a few, are names of places that fill our history books and are part of our heritage as Americans. These places, whether on our own land, on the open seas, or on a foreign corner of the world, have stood as reminders that freedom is purchased at a very high price. This is not unique, since we've come to realize that freedom is the most prized item on earth. There is always someone or some force that waits to take it away from us if we are not vigilant, if we stand unwilling to pay the price for it. What is unique is that since the founding of our great nation, America has never lacked individuals who are willing to come forth and defend us with their honor, their devotion, and when necessary, their lives. Because of this, we honor them in person here today, but also we honor the memory of those who couldn't be here with us today. These are veterans. These are the men and women who left their homes, their safety, their families, and placed themselves in harm's way on battlefields so that freedom and safety could be secure. These are veterans. They are men and women who, as one of our presidents once said, they asked not what their country could do for them, but what they could do for their country. These are veterans. They are the men and women who, when they were called, answered with enthusiasm and pride, and cast aside their own dreams, sacrificed and gave of themselves to ensure liberty and a way of life for all of us here today. So today we honor these veterans. We honor them on Veterans Day, and we honor them every day. So what I'm going to do is read each veteran's name and branch of the military and rank. And if you would please just stand and remain standing. I would ask our audience to please hold your applause until everyone's name is called so that we can clearly hear all of them. We'll begin with United States Army. Tim Campbell, ET1. Dean Grinch, E4. Ron Stradiff, Specialist, 4th Class. Jim Scahill, 1st Lieutenant. Michael Spruce, Sergeant. Lee R. Claypool, SP4. Jack Claypool, Specialist, 5. Thomas Burke, E5. Mark Bryce, Staff Sergeant. Joseph Crawford, Specialist, 5. Joanna Edwards, Specialist, 4. Roger Gadley, Sergeant, E5. David C. Toy, Specialist, 4. William Williard, Military Police, E4. Edward Wolf, Sergeant. Susan Chrisman, Specialist, 4. Ted Kaminsky, Specialist, 4th Class. James Chrisman, Sergeant. Jerry Hauser, Corporal. Noel Jack, Specialist. John L. Wolf Jr., E5. Reed Titus, Sergeant, E5. Darren Grafton, E4, Specialist. Edward Presley, E5. Joe Miller, Sergeant. Donald McCarl, Corporal. James Kilgore, E5. Dale H. McMillan, Lieutenant Colonel. Joseph Miller, Sergeant, E5. James Ashbaugh, Sergeant. Joey Myers, Staff Sergeant. Daniel Crouch, Staff Sergeant. James B. Arbuckle, Specialist, 4th Class. Curtis L. Reed, Lieutenant Colonel. Jorn Jensen, Specialist, 4. James Held, E5. Richard Kirkner, Specialist, E4. Robert Taylor, E4. Joseph Thompson, Specialist, 4. United States Air Force. Buddy Gray, Staff Sergeant. Jeffrey Craddy, Senior Airman. Jorge Flores, Staff Sergeant. Lawrence C. Goodman, E4. London Eschenbaugh, Airman, 1st Class. Charles R. Smale, Jr., E4, Senior Airman. Thomas E. Sellers, Sergeant. The United States Marine Corps. Tim Lewis, Corporal. Kenneth Allshouse, Private, 1st Class. John DeBane, Corporal. Brandon Tarr, Sergeant. Thomas Bork, Private, 4th Class. James Allison, Private, 1st Class. Lee Burt, Sergeant, E5. Don Waltenbaugh, Sergeant. Gary L. Boyer, Sergeant. Silvio Andresi, Staff Sergeant. The United States Navy. Tom Lockery, Petty Officer, 2nd Class. Brian Jepp, Lieutenant. Brian Wiles, E4. Gary Atwood, M3. Chuck Nicely, E3. Harry Frick, Petty Officer, 3rd Class. Robert Schoaf, E4. Terza Barkerstock, E6. Walter Butler, fireman, E3. Glenn Rufner, E5. Jean Rufner, E4. Rachel Burford, Boatswain's Mate 3rd Class Petty Officer. James Burford, Chief Boatswain's Mate. Jack Walker, Boatswain's Mate 3rd Class. Danny Shirley, Senior, 2nd Class Petty Officer. Cynthia Shirley, Hospital Apprentice. Mike Schaefer, E3. Jeff Piper, HT1. Brian Freeman, E6. Let's take a moment to give all of our veterans a very enthusiastic round of applause.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and we will be right back with the Armstrong School District's Education Today. Stick around.
Success. We see it every day. Hundreds of majors and programs, bachelor's degrees to PhDs, small classes, internationally known faculty who are committed to your success. Real-world experiences to guide you on your career and life path. An alumni network 120,000 strong. I'm IUP President Mike Driscoll. Visit us. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
I'm Indiana County Sheriff Bob Fyhawk. We're all proud of Indiana County, but we must be worried about the negative growth of drugs and alcohol abuse. It is the responsibility of all of us, parents, teachers, and community leaders, to provide the best possible education to our youth in the prevention of drug and alcohol abuse. The law is a deterrent, but education is still our best protection. Help keep Indiana safe and drug-free. For more information on how to talk to your kids about drugs and alcohol, go to the AboveTheInfluence.com, brought to you by the Armstrong, Indiana Drug-Free Communities Coalition.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star, and who can change the world of a 5th grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
Veterans, thank you for stepping forward when others step back. Thank you for placing yourself between us and danger. Thank you for delaying plans for college, marriage, and other opportunities in choosing to serve. Thank you for braving the unspeakable horrors of war. Thank you for sacrificing time with your families and missing those significant milestones the rest of us take for granted. Thank you to your spouses who find themselves living nomadic lives, often far away from the support of loved ones. Thank you to your children who accept your absence as a way of life and understand they share you with the nation and sometimes the world. Thank you to your parents who have nothing but prayers to protect you. Thank you for being a conscience to our nation. Thank you for serving as a heroic example of who we are and what we can dream to be. Thank you for your service. We're going to now do the traditional taps. Aaron Baker's going to come out front, and he'll play out here, and Sam Smith will play in the back.
Do you know why they chose November 11th for Veterans Day? In 1918, American troops held off a German attack. It moved Allied forces deeper into their enemy's territory. In November, Germany decided they weren't putting up with it anymore. They agreed to a ceasefire. Germany signed the final armistice at 5 o'clock a.m. on November 11th. The treaty began to take effect 6 hours later at exactly 11 o'clock a.m. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the war to end all wars had ended, and the war came to peace once again. Our veterans have made us proud for our country, and we should serve them because all they have done for us and are doing. Never forget them and always honor them. That is why November 11th, 1918 was chosen for our beloved holiday, Veterans Day.
Veterans Day by Cheryl Dyson. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us with all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
It is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to assemble. It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the veteran who salutes the flag. It is the veteran who serves under the flag, to be buried by the flag. person who served in one of the 5 branches of the military: Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, or Navy. Today we have gathered to honor our family members who have served in the military. Veterans have fought for our freedom. Having freedom is being free instead of being controlled by a ruler. They have given us many different freedoms, such as freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom to assemble. The fact that you put your life on the line to keep us free, that's very much appreciated. Veterans have served during war or peacetime. However, all service is greatly valued. We recognize your sacrifice and appreciate your service. On behalf of the staff and students of West Hills Intermediate, we thank you.
Take a moment to thank a veteran by Joe Fudge. When you see someone in a uniform, someone who serves us all, doing a military duty, answering their country's call, take a moment to thank them for protecting what you hold dear. Tell them you are proud of them. Make it very clear. Just tap them on the shoulder, give a smile, and say, thanks for what you're doing to keep us safe in the USA.
I'm here in the National Mall to commemorate Veterans Day. And around me are the great war memorials which define our history and our legacy. From the Great White Fleet of 1907 to those operating forward today. These war memorials also remind us of the great people in the armed forces who have served throughout our history, from World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. And it reminds us of the ordinary people who performed extraordinary acts of strength and of sacrifice, some committing the ultimate sacrifice. So as we honor our veterans around the world and throughout history, happy Veterans Day.
Well, that's our show for today. As you can see, the West Hills students and staff did a nice job putting together a good program to commemorate our veterans. Our thanks goes out to the TV production students of West Shamokin High School, led by their teacher, Ms. Karen Coulter. They were our film crew today. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. Visit our website for updated information about the district and have a great week.